18 Life is the urge to grow in knowledge and experience. Are you prepared to accept life without the body? Life with the body is changing, transient. Life without the body is unchanging. Why is life full of strife? You must have noticed the strife among the 5 elements. That strife ultimately settles upon the earth. Every grain of rice, wheat etc. is composed of the 5 elements. This strife goes into your food material. All living beings share this food, and with it the strife. One is affected by the strife in one's food. Real ease, lasting peace, and happiness, and natural spontaneity, are unknown to you all. A rare one is an exception to this. Turning to spirituality demands wisdom to understand the limitations of your worldly life. A very few have it. Others live to struggle and die. The modern age has enabled man to have enough, but of no use for lasting peace and happiness. Hence, more and more people are turning to spirituality, to try its worth. While the existence in limitation and separation is sorrowful, we love it. We love it and hate it at the same time. We cling to life. This clinging is at the root of everything. We hold on to something, or somebody, with all our might, and next moment we forget it, like a child that shapes its mud pies and abandons them lightheartedly. Touch them, it will scream with anger, divert the child and he forgets them. We love variety, the play of pain and pleasure, we are fascinated by contrasts. For this we need the opposites and their apparent separation. We enjoy them for a time and then get tired and crave for the peace and silence of pure being. Your existence which is without any desire or objective. Leave without self-concern. For this you must know your own true being, Svarupa. Know with absolute certainty that nothing can trouble you but your own imagination. Then you will come to disregard your desires and fears, concepts and ideas, and live by truth alone. What is the purpose of your existence? The aim in life is to see oneself as one is. What is the meaning of life? It has none. It is there without any reason. It is like urinating. Just witness. Even if life is understood as knowledge of the self, the knowledge gained is untrue. There will not be a vestige of it left. As soon as prana leaves, you will be as if you never existed. With the experience of so-called birth, you are caught up in the cycle like the picture on a screen. All this life happening is something like a cinema. Just as the play you see on the cinema screen is not real, similarly this play is also not real. Life appears merely as a series of entertainments. When you understand this you will come to the end of spirituality. Our life is full of mental modifications and on the lookout for entertainment. Just as you know the presence of a dead rat by its smell, currently you are smelling your own presence. But this smelling is time-bound and is going to vanish. 100 years back, you did not smell your presence. It has started after the so-called birth. What has started, has also to stop one day, at the so-called death. Prior to smelling your presence, what were your desires and demands? There has been no end to your desires and acquisitions, now. The recorded tape repeats itself. Does it have any intelligence? Exactly like that, the impressions, that have been recorded in your consciousness since childhood, do the talking. The tape and your consciousness are of the same category. The self is beyond time. However long a life may be, it is but a moment and a dream. Life is like a dream. You are also present in your dreams, and see as someone totally different. At the end of the dream it all disappears. Whatever has appeared in worldly life is only an illusion. Life is worthy of the name only when it reflects reality in action. Live your life with the interests of your deepest self always in mind. Seek to express in action what you are. For this you have a body and a mind. Take them in hand and make them serve you. In the insect, worm, animal, or human being, is this instinct to keep itself alive. Why? Because with the sprouting of the life force, this I amness, that is itself the very instinct to live, to love to live. That love to be is the prime motive force for all life's activities. You work hard for a living. What is a living? Is it not an attempt to continue the beingness? Why does man suffer so many hardships? Is it not to perpetuate his beingness? The love for the self wants to continue. When life comes to an end, will you care about what happens to the world? All life is conscious, all consciousness alive. Even stones are conscious and alive. There cannot be life without consciousness, nor consciousness without life. They are both one. In life let the general attitude be of affectionate detachment, enormous goodwill, without expectation of return, constant giving without asking. In marriage you are neither the husband nor the wife, you are the love between the two. You are the clarity and kindness that makes everything orderly and happy. You will find that the mystical is the most practical, for it makes your life creatively happy. I have observed life as it is and taken lessons from it. Our existence in any form is most unreliable. Our close relative, who is with us today, may not be there tomorrow. The only son of parents may lie dead in front of them. This is the nature of existence, which we cannot change. We can only change ourselves, to be the least affected by these mishaps. The unreliability teaches us to be detached. Nothing should be able to disturb our peace and tranquility. I have made practical use of these uncertainties of life. As long as you are interested in your present way of living, you will not abandon it. Discovery cannot come as long as you cling to the familiar. It is only when you realize fully the immense sorrow of your life and revolt against it, that a way out can be found. In matters of daily life the knower of the real has no advantage, he may be at a disadvantage rather. Being free from greed and fear, he does not protect himself. The very idea of profit is foreign to him. He abhors accretions. His life is constant divesting oneself, sharing, giving. There is trouble only when you cling to something. When you hold on to nothing, no trouble arises. The relinquishing of the lesser is the gaining of the greater. Give up all and you gain all. Then life becomes what it was meant to be, pure radiation from an inexhaustible source. In that light the world appears dimly like a dream. You may have a long life. If you live for 125 years, you may suffer miseries similar to a 1-year-old infant. Without knowing, you will wet and excrete in the bed. You would become the subject of ridicule. The whole world was saluting you before, but now how terrible is your worn-out condition. They will all praise you in high terms, but only if your life term is limited. If this is the situation, then how should we die? Life serves to break down mental pride. We must realize how poor and powerless we are. As long as we delude ourselves by what we imagine ourselves to be, to know, to have, to do, we are in a sad plight indeed. Only in complete self-negation there is a chance to discover our real being. There is only life. There is, nobody who lives a life. Be nothing, know nothing, have nothing. This is the only life worth living, the only happiness worth having. All life is universal life, it has nothing to do with an individual. There is no sense in taking pride in whatever I know, or I have done in life. You are not the body, you do not have a personality, you are the universal life. This is all universal life. If you consider yourself some particular individual you will suffer. The beginning and end of life is a tiny thing that has happened in the state that is permanent. In life one comes with a time-bound ticket, and at the end of life one must go, there is no appeal. The beginning and end of life is a journey with a time-bound ticket, and at the end of the ticket whatever has come will go. Be a witness of that, and step out of it. The duration of your life has a beginning and an end. At the end, all the participants leave. The witnessing that was happening is not happening now. That's it. Similarly, in reality, you are the witness of your life. You are the unborn to whom witnessing happens for a certain duration. The end of the body does not mean the death of the witness. Our life is the duration of witnessing. At the end of the lifespan all the accumulated knowledge vanishes. The strength also becomes less day by day, and at the end, no energy is left, even to lift a feeding spoon. Take this advice, better not be trapped in the spiritual knowledge business, have a nice time, a good life, be of service to others, and in due course, when the time is ripe, you will die. Contemplate life as infinite, undivided, ever present, ever active, until you realize yourself as one with it, until you realize it is one with you. This is not even very difficult, for you will be returning only to your own natural condition. When you understand your true nature, you will realize it is always alive. Do not wish to live in this life by the knowledge of the subjective world, or the experiences of the subjective world. People tell you that you must live. Do not desire to live like that. You are alive because of your own nature, it is there, the existence is there, and you are there only because of that existence. Your true state is whole, undifferentiated, beyond birth and death, unbound by body and mind, limitless. You, the Absolute, never had any experience that you were alive, and now you are experiencing that you are alive. All this trouble you are experiencing is through this I am alive experience. This experience is limited to time and space, but understand that you never had any experience that you are alive. That is a state beyond experience. Why has this come? The I consciousness appeared and these experiences started. See the true nature of the I consciousness, go to the source, find out from where this I comes. To be a living being is not the ultimate state, there is something beyond, much more wonderful, which is neither being nor non-being, neither living nor not living. It is a state of pure awareness, beyond the limitations of space and time. Once the illusion that the body-mind is oneself is abandoned, death loses its terror, it becomes a part of living. I have stabilized in the eternal and am not fascinated by this type of life, this burden. I would like to get rid of that as early as possible, I am not interested. I have stabilized prior to this beingness and the world. Whatever happens to the world, nothing happens to me. Life makes you conscious, but the teacher makes you aware.